Almost lost my seat. What's going on, people? It's Carlitos Way, Facebook. This is another informational session. I know I've been going in here lately, but just know that this is all for a good cause, and it's all gonna make sense pretty soon. You know what I'm saying? As life unfolds, okay? So what I want to talk about is how why things are going the way that they're going right now, okay? It seems as if like I'm looking online, and it seems as if there's a misimbalance of the masculine, divine masculine, and the divine feminine, divine masculine. Both of them are equal in one of the same, because women have a delicate masculine and feminine balance, and men have a delicate masculine and feminine balance. We're supposed to keep in balance of it all, okay? That is what's called keeping your chakra system, which goes from your root chakra, which is the lower self, all the way up into your crown chakra, which is your higher self, okay? So I want to talk about what's going on, what has been going on from, I'm going to say, I'm going to say 2010 up until now, what has been going on, okay? Which a lot of you are not aware of. Because unfortunately, a lot of you live unconsciously, okay? So there's a difference in living consciously than living unconsciously. And I'm not going to take too much time interpreting those two, so I'm going to give a quick synopsis. Consciously living is knowing that fast food, right, is bad for you. That's why they call it fast food. So consciously, I know that this fast food that they've made in a few seconds from the time that I pull it into the drive-thru, and by the time I get to the end of the drive-thru, that food is done within a few minutes. That can't be good for me, because if I cook my food at home, it takes longer than 5 minutes for the food to be prepared and for the food to be cooked, right? Facts. Consciously, consciously knowing that the food is bad for me, I'm either gonna make wiser decisions on where I go get my food from, like going to an actual restaurant where you have to sit and you have to wait for the food to be prepared, or I'm gonna fix my food at home, right? All right, bet. Now let's get into it. So I don't know if you guys remember this or not, but early 2010, okay? Early 2010, we were introduced to what is called the Homo Thug Agenda, okay? So we're gonna make the timeline. So just think about 2010, we were introduced to the Homo Thug Agenda. Now I'm gonna break that down, because a lot of you are gonna say, what do you mean by Homo Thug Agenda? So let's look at rappers like Young Thug. So write this down. Young Thug roughly came into the game around 2010, or a little bit after 2010. Young Thug was introduced to the game, and he was pretty much the leader of the Homo Thug Agenda, okay? He was the leader, all right? Just think when he came out, high-pitched vocals, which I'm not knocking any artist and their style of how they portray themselves in their music. I'm not knocking any artist, but it's a few things that I want you to pay attention to. So when Young Thug came out, his voice and everything was high-pitched. He was very feminine. If I'm not mistaken, Young Thug even considers himself a feminist. Okay, the tight pants, you know, the stuff that he was saying in his lyrics, you know, was kind of homophobic. You know what I'm saying? And to each his own. I'm just conveying to you what has happened through time. All right. So 2010, we were introduced to the Homo Thug Agenda through the music. Okay, Young Thug was a part of it. The whole Rich Gang was a part of it. Who else? I'm gonna say artists like Lil Wayne played a part of it. Who else could I name? A lot of artists from Atlanta definitely played a part of it. You had a couple rappers from California, but mainly I'm gonna say Young Thug, Rich Homie Quan was a part of the Homo Thug Agenda. So let's move forward from that. So 2010, the Homo Thug Agenda started. Okay, the tight pants, the feminine rap. So rap being infused with feminine accolades and feminine sways, you know what I mean? And you had a heavy influx of degrading women, specifically the black woman, okay? Now, I know a lot of y'all say, well, that's what we grew up on and in that era, because a lot of y'all 90s babies, even though we caught the back end of 90s music, or we lived through 90s music, but when we got into the 2010s music really changed. You know, early 2000s, you still had your Timberlands and, you know, Aaliyah was still prevalent. Dipset, you know, you had I'm trying to think of what rap era that was. That was more of a commercialized rap era at that point, early 2000s, okay? So getting into 2010, like I said, the Homo Thug Agenda is introduced. I bet. Okay. And I know a lot of y'all like, well, how does this affect me? It affects you because, believe it or not, rap and hip hop culture has a big influence over our people and what they do. The way they dress, just look at hip hop culture along with the new R&B, because a lot of this new R&B degrades men a lot. So it was kind of like a tick for tat. So you got the rappers in the Homo Thug Agenda degrading women, right? And then the women of music, which was in R&B, right, were basically counteracting with the Homo Thug Agenda in rap, and they kind of balanced each other out, because you got the Homo Thug Agenda rappers degrading the women, talking bad about the women. Then you had the new era R&B girls singing about all the pain and stuff that they were going through, basically from the Homo Thug Agenda. All right. Now y'all got to think about how they coincide. So once again, you got 2010 era, the Homo Thug Agenda is introduced, right? Then to the contrary of that, you had your R&B, right? Because nowadays R&B isn't the same R&B that we witnessed in the 90s. The R&B that we have now has a whole lot of men degrading. So you got the rap era, the Homo Thug Agenda rap era degrading the women, and then you have the new R&B, right, which is more on a pop style level, degrading the black men. So you got the Homo Thug Agenda degrading the black woman, and then you have the pop culture R&B degrading the black man. All right, so you got a war going on. Okay. Now, a lot of you are gonna sit back and say, "Well, how does that affect us?" Well, how does it not affect us? Because majority of the youth, right, are gonna look to the new age rap artists that are in the Homo Thug Agenda era, correct? And they're going to emulate that, because you have to look at what is being portrayed to our support of people who are getting the majority of the wealth. All right? Doctors, lawyers, people in political power, they really don't, even though you do have black people who are in those, who have those professions and are in those places of power, they really don't influence the vast majority of our people. Our people like glitz and glamour. They like the fashion. They like people who's living that lavish lifestyle because, let's be honest, we are lavish lifestyle people. We have always lived lavish. Even back in the ancient times, it just wasn't what it is today. You know what I'm saying? But this is what we're used to. We're used to having things. So that's why when you see, you know, these R&B artists and you see these rappers and you see what they emulate and what they put out to the public, no matter how much you try to say that that doesn't affect you, it does. And it shapeshifts your mentality subconsciously. Okay? Now, I apologize if what I'm saying isn't resonating or isn't registering to you in a way that you can understand. So hopefully, when you watch this video later on, you're able to put the pieces of the puzzle together. So 2010, Homo Thug Agenda, right? 5 years from that, right? We're gonna call it, so 2015, you got pop, culture, R&B. Then next, what do we have? We had the era of drill music, which was to the contrary, right, of the Homo Thug Agenda, but it still defeated us because we started thinking that killing each other was cool. Because let's be frank, you go back to the 80s, our people, you know, might have murdered each other, you know, due to gang violence or whatever the case may be, but it wasn't as prevalent as it was in the 90s. And then from the 90s to the 2000s, it wasn't as prevalent as it was in the 90s. So through time, you can infer that it has gotten worse due to our culture and due to the trends that our culture continue to emulate and portray. Okay? Now, this is why you can't fully fault our people for this, okay? You can't fully fault our people for this because these genres, okay, not just of music, I'm going to say genres as far as lifestyle, period, our people fluctuate to. Music, entertainment, so like movie stars, fashion, what else? Gangs. Even gangs, look, our people are so powerful. Even gangs can become popular and become a trend to our people because what do we portray to our people? Oh, don't snitch. Don't tell. Don't tell the business. Don't tell what's going on. You a snitch. Yeah, we're gonna go shoot them up. We're gonna go bang bang. You feel me? That's cool to us because that what was marketed to our people. Okay? So, music, entertainment, gangs, fashion. In America, people run these certain industries and they target our people in particular, and also they pay our people in order to do certain things because they know that we are the majority and they know that we have control, right? They know that we have control over what goes on in our environments, okay? And they know that as long as they can put a dollar bill, right? They know as long as they can put this right here. They know as long as they can put this right here in your face, the majority of our people would do anything. You want to know why? Because there is no hierarchy influence besides entertainers, rappers, gang members that our people are really gravitating towards. We don't have any Malcolm X's or anybody who's in a political position of power that showcases a certain prestige and a certain drive to make our people strive for more. You see what I'm saying? We have become conditioned to just want to basically be entertainers, okay? At the end of the day. We have been conditioned to be entertainers. Not only that, we have been conditioned to go against each other in every platform possible. Everyone. Let's use this for example, okay? So back in the day, I know you've done talk to your grandmothers, and they'd be like, man, things have changed since back in our day because, you know, back in our day, we used to love one another. Back in our day, everybody cared. You know what I'm saying? People cared about the village and what was going on all the way down the street. So it didn't matter whether you live with me or not. I know for a fact that if you out here in these streets showing your ass, you represent our people as a whole. So I need to tear a hole in your ass because you're not going to be out here misrepresenting our people out here in the streets. You see what I'm saying? That's what you had back in the day. People cared more. You see what I'm saying? People cared more. People actually had to really put in that hard-earned work to get where they wanted to be in life. You know what I'm saying? Nowadays, everything is easy. Everything is just about entertainment. You know? We have, why you think, if you look at the racial propaganda from back in the day, they showcased us as monkeys, monkey see, monkey do. Pay attention. Because see, a lot of y'all ain't caught some of the stuff that I already done said previously in this live. Y'all just now tuning in, and I'm not backtracking. Y'all gonna have to go back and listen. But why you think the propaganda that they showcased back in the day for our people was monkey see, monkey do? Because that's what we do. We follow things that certain groups of people put out for us to follow, and we ride the wave. We ride the trends. You know what I'm saying? That's just like, I can scroll down my news feed. I'm friends with majority of women, okay? And the reason that I'm friends with majority women is because women run the world. Why you think it's more women than there is men? Why you think it's more women on the planet than there is men on the planet? Because women run the world now. By women running the world, right? What's the easiest way to target the black man and to target the black man's children? We must get to their women, right? So what you think going on, man? What y'all think going on there? Y'all think that we just one day just started going against each other? You think that's how it happened? Is that what you think? You think that's how it happened? You got to be out your damn mind to think that's how this shit happened. Look up Tulsa, Oklahoma. Because see, what I need for my sisters to start doing, and this is where my sisters are lacking, okay? And this is why us as a collective, remember I said women rule the world. This is why our people as a collective are not moving forward, because the sisters are not educating themselves. I'm sorry, but I'm sorry, I'm not sorry, but the sisters are not educating themselves. And when I say education, I'm not talking about going to get your PhD, baby. I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about you going to get a master's degree. I'm not talking about that. Anybody can do that. Not only that, for y'all to think that that's something, you literally have gotten a diploma or a piece of paper based off somebody else's knowledge. Not your knowledge. It's based off somebody else's knowledge. Okay? So look, I need for my sisters to start reading about history and reading about the true story and start reading what has actually happened out here in society and quit mimicking what some of these fellas want y'all to do. See, y'all got to stop falling into the illusion and stop falling into the trance, because a lot of these fellas, they try to get y'all to drink alcohol, want y'all to smoke all this weed, want y'all to pop pills and all of that. If you got a man in your life and that's what he's feeding you, get rid of him. Get rid of him. Because a real man is going to infest your mind with knowledge, wisdom, and understanding so that you can be great and help us further the vibration of the planet. Because our people are not going to get ahead until the sisters start getting ahead. Our people, as a whole, are not going to be able to get ahead until my sisters are starting to get ahead. You want to know why? Because y'all are the most important piece of the whole chessboard. So when I made that post the other day, it went over y'all's head, okay? Women rule the world, you understand? Okay? So, if you do got a man, okay, that is in your vicinity, sitting on the couch, whatever he's doing, okay, you have to be, you ain't gotta be nice. They keep on trying to cut my life, but it's all good. It's best for you to be that woman who's gonna say, why don't you try this, love? Talking to your man. Why don't you try this, love? I think because y'all women are the master manifestors. See, y'all don't got, look, women, y'all really ain't got to do a whole lot. Y'all be out here popping pussy, selling your cat, doing all of this stuff for money. When you are the master manifester, through your womb, life comes through your womb. Life comes through your portal. So that's no different from being able to manifest anything into the world. The world is your portal. So you as a woman, all you have to do is go into this. Go into this. And then move it from here on out through the portal. And guess what? You can manifest anything that you want. Real talk. That's the secret that they don't want my sisters to know. That's why they constantly brainwashing y'all. Turn up, roll a wood, smoke his weed, pop his pill, do this. Ain't nobody telling my sisters to get into the books. And I'm not talking about a PhD, love. I'm not talking about going to get your CNAs and shit. Really get into the books and start learning about yourself. Start learning what you're capable of doing with your body. Start meditating. Start doing yoga. I see all y'all pumping iron and lifting weights and all that. That's not meant for a woman. Start doing spiritual dancing. Start doing Pilates. See, man, y'all. Hey. When I post what I post, just know this. It is to arise and to awaken the black woman to her true power and make her to realize what's really going on. Y'all have all the power. So when it comes to these men, y'all can make a man do whatever you want. Y'all are the program. You know that, right? Y'all be talking about this stuff, dickmatized and all that. Y'all are the program. So don't get it twisted. A man might bring his sunshine into your world, baby, but you feed him the program, though. So even though he's bringing in the sunshine, you feeding him back the program. So whatever you program this man with is what he's going to do. Okay? So y'all need to keep that in mind. Be aware of your power. Be aware of your power. Because they trying to trick us right now. They tricking us big. They got men and women fighting. We're not supposed to be fighting. We're supposed to be working together. You know what I'm saying? We're supposed to be working together. My sisters, a black man is polygamous by nature. You could be polygamous too. Might come with a headache, but if you want to be polygamous, hey, I said it. You could be polygamous too if that's what you want to be. But it's going to come with a lot of headache on your end because you're going to be dishing out too many programs. Okay? You're going to be dishing out too many programs to too many different men, and it's going to become a headache. All right? So if you got you a man and y'all got a good thing going and he makes you happy and he fulfills your cup, and even though he might do what he do, as long as he's not bringing no STDs to your plate, as long as he's not destroying your home, because that's what a woman is. She is the master of the home. The home, she is it. Okay? So as long as he's not disturbing and destructing your peace, let him do what he do. And that's how y'all gonna build. But he gotta be having some type of direction, right? Things gotta be growing. Things can't be degressing. It has to be growing. You see what I'm saying? And once the black woman realized that men are polygamous by nature, you can start to heal. You can start to heal. Monogamy is of the Western world, okay? A European man can only handle one woman, okay? I'm just keeping it real with you. Now, don't get it twisted. You can find certain black men who are monogamous. You can. But guess what, though? That same man is the reason why a lot of women don't have men. Just look around. A lot of women don't have men. And it might boil down to, oh, he cheated and I'm scarred and this and that and the third, but you still gonna have sex here and there with, whoever you've been, toodalooing with over the course of the years, whether you got a man or not. So what really are you doing? You wasting time. You wasting time. You putting yourself through more turmoil than it actually has to be. You're not playing it smart. You're not playing it smart. Playing it smart will be to know that a man who is watering you and helping you grow and feeding you with knowledge, wisdom, and understanding is the man for you, no matter what else he does. You got to put that to the side. Men are polygamous by nature. Put that to the side. Don't worry about that. That's not your fight. Trust me, that's not your fight. But once again, remember, if a man is bringing turmoil, confusion, degressing your life, get rid of him. Find you one who got something going on. Find you one who has vision. Because finding you a man that has vision, by you having that porthole, you can manifest anything that you want with that man. Anything. It could be a beautiful story, a beautiful picture. That's why they said, with every great man, there's a great woman. And with every great woman, there's a great man. It's a balance. Can't have one without the other. It's the masculine and feminine balance. The whole world is ran off of this. Okay? All right? So like I said, the music turn us apart. The movies turn us apart. Don't go by what you see and what they say. Go within yourself. Okay? That's what meditation is. That's how you see things. Close your eyes. Find you some time throughout the day. I recommend at least 30 minutes to an hour a day. Close your eyes and see where you go. That's what the third eye is. The third eye is your imaginative state. What you see when you close your eyes. That is your third eye. See, they make it complicated like it's a big mystery what the third eye is. Everyone's been having a third eye since they was a child. You remember when you was a child, you can imagine things so easily. How children can just go off and they in their third eye. They not worried about what these two eyes are seeing. They somewhere else. You see what I'm saying? See, they teach you that when you get grown, that this is all there is to reality. No. Reality is based off of what is going on the inside. So if you are at peace on the inside, your outer world is at peace. It's from the inside out. That's why they call it the universe. Okay? You, which is you, and guess what? Verse is word. So you speak word into existence. That's why they say you speak it into existence. Yeah. You see how I just broke it down? Universe. A unique verse. You see what I'm saying? But everybody can't put this stuff in a sense for a lot of people to understand. And then not only that, a lot of people do not want to understand or understand or overstand. You see what I'm saying? See, words have a lot of meaning. That's why you have to speak consciously. Don't speak unconsciously. Speaking unconsciously means that you don't know what you're saying. You're just rambling and talking and saying words. That's called babbling on. People who like to babble on. You ever been with somebody and y'all sitting, y'all talking, they just keep on babbling on, and you like, what are they even talking about at this point? They just like hearing themselves talk. Yeah. There's a lot of people out here doing that. They're just babbling on. They're not talking about nothing. They're not feeding your soul. They're not feeding you with nothing. See, right now, we are in the time of shedding layers. Reset. Now is the time to reset and rebuild, black woman. It is time for you to reset and rebuild. Get right in the inside. Find out what you really want out of life, and then you manifest it. Okay? Notice, manifest. It's another word. Manifest it. You are womb man, right? Womb man. Did you know that the term man represents man and female? Female and man. When you say man. I remember growing up, my grandmother used to say, I ain't no man. Yeah. Oh, you just want me to put the woe on it. Woe man, same thing. Wait, same thing. Because before men carnate into being a man in the womb, the female first, because they don't have a sex, they don't have a gender. So that means that there's nothing right there, which makes them female, right? And then as the fetus grows, then the sex is revealed. But at the end of the day, whether you're a man or a woman, you both got masculine and feminine qualities within you. It's all about making them become one. That's where you get the yin and the yang. You know what I'm saying? You know, everything is really about love, the frequency of love, you know. And you know, a lot of y'all fight love. I'm going to talk about this. A lot of y'all fight love. Let me explain something to y'all. Now, this is deep, because a lot of y'all fight love. Little do y'all know. Because a lot of y'all are under the perception that love is romance, when really love is not romance, okay? Romance is of Rome. That's why it's called Romance of Rome. So look up Roman culture. That's where romance came from. It came from Rome. Okay? Now, love has many shapes and sizes. Love is just not, oh, baby, I love you. Come here, give me a kiss. Woo, woo, woo. That's not all love is. Love could be your child is about to run out there in that street. If somebody's coming down the street, you in the house, and somebody sees your child about to run into that street, and they say, ho, what are you doing? Back up. That's love. Oh, you didn't think that is love. Because in reality, they didn't have to say nothing at all. They could have just let your child run out into the street and get hit. You know, there's a lot of people out here in this world like that who don't give a fuck. So see, they are not of love. You see what I'm saying? Love, you know how they say love at first sight? You heard that a lot, right? Love at first sight. Love can be a feeling like, y'all be like, people be like, you can't fall. See, we don't fall in love. We rise in love. So let me not say fall in love. Because when you fall in love, you're falling. You see what I'm saying? You see how words is so deep, but see, a lot of y'all don't know what you're saying because you don't speak from a conscious level. So I don't fall in love. Me personally, I don't fall in love because I don't fall in love. I rise in love. You see what I'm saying? I want to rise in love. I don't want to fall in love. I want to rise in love. So you see how I change my, the way that I talk. You see what I'm saying? It's like saying, you know how you get around somebody and they're what you call a negative Nancy. Oh, my life is miserable and woo this. Universe. So they're speaking a unique verse through their mouth. A verse, a Bible verse, you know. Recite a Bible. When you talk, you are reciting a verse. What do you think a rapper does when he writes a verse? Let me wake y'all up. You write a verse. You either get that or you don't. You know, when I see my child, you know what I say? Or anybody else who I love and care about. They are great. They are awesome. They are impeccable. They are brilliant. You see what I'm saying? Because that is me speaking life and speaking power over someone that I care about. It's just like with me. I'm almighty. I am the one. I am him. You understand? I am Elohim. You understand? That's how I talk. Everybody doesn't talk like that because they aren't consciously speaking. And you're right, Raymond Payne. A lot of people speak in spells, verses, whatever you want to call it. Yes. So when someone is talking bad about you, they are speaking a spell over you. Yes, it is that deep. Yes. Yes. You have to become spiritually aligned with yourself. See, they taught you in church. They say pray over somebody. Now, I'm going to break this down because a lot of y'all aren't even aware of this. Okay, so A, E, I, O, and U. What are those? Those are vowel sounds. Vowel sounds. A, E, I, O, U. So let's use a simple word like pray. You got P-R-A-Y. That's one way. Then you got P-R-E-Y. Now notice, A-E-I-O-U. A-E-I-O-U means the A, the E, the I, the O, and U in any word that you can say is interchangeable. That's what makes it a spell. So when you're saying you're praying for somebody, you don't want to be praying for nobody because that means that it's pray. You see what I'm saying? It's pray. You want to affirm for somebody. Now, you know how someone says, Roger that, affirmative? Yeah, that means right now. So, what Muhammad Ali always said, he affirmed, he didn't pray. I'm the greatest. I'm the greatest of all time. I'm pretty. Look at me. I'm Ali. I'm the greatest. I'm the best that ever did it. That is affirmating. That is affirmative action. He's not praying. He's saying right now, I command, this is what I am right now. That's speaking power. See, a lot of y'all don't do that. Y'all still praying. See, I done lost a lot of people with that one. They weren't ready for that one. That one was tough, wasn't it? So look, once again, this isn't for everybody. Okay? My lives and what I post isn't for everybody. This is for the ones that want to be awakened. The ones that choose to be awakened. Okay? All my chosen ones are going to see this video. But I done went sidebar from what I was talking about originally. Okay? Originally, let me just say this. Okay? A lot of our people are under spells. Okay? Okay? Don't be up under the spell. Man and woman, we're supposed to come together and build something beautiful at the end of the day. All right? All right? Build something beautiful at the end of the day. And that's what I want to see happen. So quit bashing your counterparts. Quit doing that shit. Because we're supposed to be working together. And then another thing that I was going to say is a lot of y'all be letting the love of y'all life pass you by because you get around people and you begin to get feelings, right? Sometimes, you know, you get around somebody, you be like, damn, I got this feeling like I'm supposed to be with them or something, like, you know what I'm saying? And y'all be so fixed into the construct of how you think things are supposed to be that you miss out on what's actually meant for you because you think that things are supposed to be like this. You feel me? Man, go within yourself. Go inward. And when you go inward, all will be revealed. Till we meet again.